And we record this so that we can send it out to anyone who unfortunately isn't able to attend this evening. So welcome. We're so glad that you're here. A minute after 4, so we'll go ahead and get ourselves started. Since so many of you are hiding, I'll just invite those of you who are still on the screen, if you want to go ahead and everyone mute yourselves. I'd love to ask that we stay muted throughout the program, just so that there's not a lot of background noise. That would be fantastic. And if you have any questions, please feel free to type them into the chat box. You're going to see that there will be a chat box down there at the bottom of your screen. It should come up and you can type in a message. And that way at the end, we're going to open it up again and answer any questions. And I'll check the chat box to see if there's any questions. So let me start sharing my screen so you can see our program for this evening. And of course, as you know, we are going to be talking about the enchanting Danube. This is a fantastic wine cruise that we have with your Virginia wineries. And we're excited to take you down the Danube River in April of 2023. And I always like to make sure that I start by introducing a little bit of who we are. Expedia Wine Club Cruises, we are not a call center. Many people see our Expedia name and they think, oh, they're a call center from somewhere. No, we're not. We are luxury cruise specialists who focus on wine cruises. And we are based in California. And all of my team is spread out all over the United States, but they are all here in the US. And they are the elite of our travel professional team. So know that any one of them that you talk to is going to be able to handle any kind of request, because we're a full service agency. So we'll handle nuts to bolts. We're going to do your air, your transfers, whatever it is that you need. We are here to help you. So to introduce myself and our guest this evening, as you can see there on the screen, my name is KK. I'm the Vice President of Sales for Expedia Cruises, Wine Club Cruises. And poor me, I get to enjoy wine and travel. Yes, I do hear it a lot. I want your job. That's only because you don't have to do it, but it is fun. I absolutely love what I do. I've been doing this for over 40 years, and you can tell that I'm still happy and enjoy doing it. So let me introduce our winery partners for this particular cruise. You have the Papadopoulos, Luisus and Alexandra from Molon Lave. They won't be here with us this evening because they had a family situation, but we're thinking about them. Of course, Philip and Danielle Strother from Philip Carter Winery. Philip is here with us. Hopefully you can see him on, his camera is on.
Hey, hey.
There
Virginia
you are.
wine lovers. Hello, everybody.
Very good. And John and Marilisa Del Mar. I know that you're there, John, too, from Rappahannock. I can't see you, John. Maybe you can turn your camera back on and say hello to everybody.
Hey, gang. Sorry about that. I don't know what's happened with my camera here. I've got maybe have a little internet connection problem. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you, and we're just glad to know that you're there.
Right.
There you are.
We can see him now.
Okay, I'll leave that on a little bit, but I may turn it off in a bit just with this internet connection. My apologies for that, but welcome everybody.
We're actually going to do something that will help hopefully make that better. I'm going to quickly boost that and see if that helps it a little bit. Okay, so we are excited because you are all enthusiasts of wine and great wine from Virginia. So we are excited to now take this great wine and these lovely people on an amazing journey. And that journey is going to go down the Danube River. So what I'd love to do now is take you along on that quick journey. I'll try to keep it, like I said, not too slow, but you're going to be sailing from Passau in Germany all the way down to Budapest in Hungary. So you can see on the map there that it's an amazing journey through, starting, like I said, in Germany, through Austria, we touch Slovakia and into Hungary. This is probably the most popular itinerary on the rivers because of the diversity of what you're going to see and all the amazing cultural things along the way. One of the things I'd really like you to notice here as you look at the itinerary, notice how it overnights in Passau, it overnights in Vienna, and it overnights in Budapest. This is really important because when we talk about seeing all there is to see, you need that time there. And so many itineraries just kind of zip through and only give you a few hours in each. This gives you an opportunity to really see some things. And I'd love to show you a little bit about what you're going to see. So of course, we're going to start in Passau. And many will ask the very first question, that is, where would I fly into to get to Passau? We fly into Munich.
I don't want it.
It's a very quick, easy transfer over from Munich to Passau. And if you arrive on the actual day of arrival, not that I recommend that, I always recommend coming in ahead, but if you arrive that day, then you'll have an opportunity to take advantage of the complimentary transfers. We will be having a hotel in Munich that if you decide to come in early to that hotel, we can accommodate those transfers to the ship that day included in your price. You're going to find that all of this is really, really inclusive. But when we think of Passau, what gets me really excited is the fact that Passau is the confluence of 3 rivers. So really, this is where the Danube, the Inn, and the Ilz all come together. And what's so curious about it is that you can actually see the line of the change of color in the water. It almost draws a line. And it seems a little odd that you wouldn't think that they would meddle, and they do eventually. But if you can imagine that when you go hike up to the top of the castle, or you can take the tour that takes you up there and overlook the town of Passau and the 3 rivers that come together, you can actually see that clear definition. It's really, really cool. The castle up at the top has spectacular views. So this is a picture of looking down over the town of Passau. And then, of course, we go on to Linz. Now, Linz in itself is just this beautiful city, wonderful art. Of course, it's also the gateway to Salzburg, but many of you might think of something very popular that starts with the word Linz. Maybe Linzer Torte. I know it's one of my favorite desserts, and so I make sure to have one every time I'm there. But you're also going to have an opportunity to go to Salzburg. Now, many of you are familiar with Salzburg from a bunch of different perspectives. Here's what I know it for, is for the Sound of Music, where it was filmed. And yes, that's me on the stairs there, because one of the complimentary tours that's included is a full day in Salzburg. What I really want you to notice are the guys standing at the top of the stairs, the locals. They're so used to everybody standing on the stairs singing Do Re Mi, they don't even pay attention anymore. But it is a lot of fun to do, and wonderful, brilliant sights. And again, that's a fully included shore excursion through Salzburg. We then go on to Dürnstein. Dürnstein is the port for milk. And I really want to talk about Dürnstein when you come in, because there are so many different ways and different areas you can go to. To start us off, I'm going to ask one of our tour guides from this area to
The
share
next
with us.
destination I would like to talk to you about is Melk. Well, in Dutch, it means milk. But Melk is actually a destination in Austria, on the Danube, in the Wachau, the most beautiful and scenic part of the Danube. It is dominated by this huge monastery. It is mind-boggling. It's fantastic. We'll take you up by bus, and we walk partly through the gardens, then into the abbey. The abbey has been restored. It's been there for over 800 years. It still has students. It's a school, and we go from room to room to room. And we end up at the small chapel, which is overwhelming. When stepping in and looking up is just Baroque. It's almost Rococo, which means it's over the top decorated. It is absolutely worth the visit. After the abbey, you can decide to walk back to the ship about half a mile downhill, or of course we'll bring you back by bus. It's well worth the visit. Milk. Well, milk.
Oh, he's so much fun. I hope you could hear that. He's one of our tour guides in Melk, and one of the opportunities that you do have is to visit the Abbey. And as he mentioned there, it is still a working Abbey and school, and it's absolutely fascinating. And when he says Rococo, over the top, that is not an exaggeration. I don't think I've ever seen so much gold, and I've been to the Hermitage in St. Petersburg, so I can tell you there's a lot of gold here. It's absolutely fascinating. But of course, Dürnstein, where we can go to Melk, we also are in the heart of the Wachau Valley. And the Wachau Valley, many of you will recognize as that is the wine region. I'm sure you'll recognize all those vineyards that you see there in front of you. And you even have one of the included excursions here is a wine tasting at one of the oldest wineries in Austria. So this is really fascinating that you'll have this chance. Additionally, from Dürnstein, you'll even get a chance to go up to the ruins of the Dürnstein Castle where Richard the Lionheart was held captive. And there's quite a fascinating story about that you just have to learn while you're on the tour. But that's where you're going to get some of these views that, as a matter of fact, when you stand right up there and look down, you actually see the bend of the river in the Wachau Valley. And it's absolutely breathtaking, a lot of fun. From Dürnstein, we are going to go on to Vienna. And of course, everyone knows Vienna as the city of waltzes, and with good reason, right? The music and the dancing and the art. And one of the favorite things that I have to do is to do this. It's called Morning with the Masters. And Morning with the Masters is when we actually get to go into the Vienna Art History Museum. And you're going to see, literally, masters is a great way to say it. All of the famous masters. You're going to see the Madonna. You're going to see, oh gosh, Rembrandt and Velasquez. And I mean, the painters are just so numerous. It is brilliant. But what's even more fascinating, or equally fascinating, is the building itself. And when you walk through this and you have this wonderful guide, again, these are all included tours. So you have these great guides who are going to just bring the building and the artwork all to life, and where they've procured it from, and the histories of where it came from and how it got to where it is today is really, really fun and fascinating. But of course, a trip to Vienna would not quite be a trip to Vienna without a concert. So included again is a private Mozart and Strauss concert. And we have a little bit of a sampling. Let's see if I can get this one to go for you.
Dort wollen wir glücklich sein, wir beide ganz allein. Du bist die schönste Fee, von der Brette bis Plattensee. Drum will mit dir ich hin, noch wo du stehst.
And I have to say that the concert is simply brilliant. It's the music that you've heard, that you know, it just all kind of, I don't know about you, but I get just so excited listening to it, even the recording here. But it's so different when it's live. And the fact that you are in this concert hall, you're in Vienna, it is so opulent, it's beautiful. And one of the many options that you have is to take a horse-drawn carriage home. And it's so much fun. But Vienna is a brilliant city. From Vienna, of course, the ship is overnighted. And so in the morning, it takes off and goes to Bratislava. And Bratislava, you're going to find that there's everything from lovely artwork. There's a wonderful little town, a beautiful castle. And all of these things, notice how close they are. So your ship is actually pulling in right there in the town center. So you're a stone's throw away, you're a quick walk away. So you can take the morning tour, you can take the afternoon tour, you can take both and still have some time in between. Maybe you come back to the ship for the included lunch. Maybe you decide that you want to go and wander off and enjoy the town itself. All of those things are very easy in all of these places because, again, you're docked right there in the heart of things. And speaking of the heart of things, we are going to sail right through the town of Budapest. As we come into Budapest, you're going to see the Buda and the Pest side, one on each side of the river. As you come in, you see this lovely couple looking at the Parliament building as it's coming up as you enter into Budapest. I always encourage, get up early in the morning, make sure that you see the arrival of the ship early that morning, because as you can see here, the river, the town is on both sides, right? So you're going to have a chance to see both. One of my favorite views is up from the above at the Fisherman's Bastille, looking down over the city of Budapest. There is so much to see in Budapest, probably one of my favorite cities in the world. You can go to the international market. You can go to all of the different museums. You can even spend a pampering day, the very famous Hungarian baths, right? The mineral waters and the spas that they have there. So if you have time, spending a couple of extra days in Budapest is always my recommendation. I bring enough spices home to make food for the entire village for a year, probably every time I go there. It's so much fun. If you like paprika, which of course is great for barbecue, you can mix it in. They have every different flavor and type that you could possibly imagine. Lots of it. It's fantastic. So the ship is going to overnight, as I mentioned, in Budapest. So you're going to have an opportunity to have full day tours, lots of options on your tours. And then, of course, we disembark the ship. I talk about the ship in general. I'd love to take you on a quick tour of who this ship is and the cruise line that we'll be sailing with. We have chosen Uniworld. We could choose any cruise line to host a wine cruise, but we are very particular. And Uniworld is one of our preferreds. And the reason is because of the quality of service. They are a 5-6-star cruise line. They are known, they are award-winning for all of their service, but they're also very inclusive. No one wants to be nickel and dime to death. And so it's important to us that all of these things are included. So sometimes when you look at the pricing for a river cruise, you think, that's a little higher than I'm used to seeing on an ocean cruise. And that's because you won't get all the nickel and diming. It's just included. As a matter of fact, here's a slide telling us a little bit about some of the things that are included. So yes, they have one of the highest staff to guest ratios, which means service levels are impeccable. They really are great. All your gratuities taken care of. Your airport transfers, if you arrive and depart on the day of departure arrival, and even sometimes some exceptions in the beginning, they're included. There's butler style service in every suite on board. There's 24-hour room service, concierge services. You're going to hear me talk a little bit about their food sourcing. It's brilliant, it's local, it's fresh. Unlimited beverages. And I kid you not, we just had another wine cruise that came off of one of the Uniworld products. And let's just say that until about 2 o'clock in the morning, there were a lot of people who were still enjoying themselves, getting to know one another. So all of your beverages are included, your cocktails before dinner and after dinner, champagne with breakfast if you'd like. They have premium spirits, beer and wines, coffees, teas, you name it, it's included. A choice of all their excursions. So you heard me mention every excursion that I talked about included. There's one in the morning, there's one in the afternoon, and there's a selection of them. You're going to find that they have some tours that are called Let's Go, and Let's Go means that they're more active. Maybe it's a bike ride, maybe it's a hike, something a little bit more active. Then they'll have their standard walking tours. And then of course, if you need gentle walking tours, they have those available as well. They have a fitness center on board, complimentary Wi-Fi, and of course they're going to bring on local entertainment from the different ports so that you can regionally enjoy that experience without having to go ashore. I mentioned the outstanding service. There's simply on the rivers, they do a brilliant job. I think it's enough said. The food, of course, is very important. I like to say that our wine enthusiasts, we are foodies, right? We want to make sure that we're drinking great wine. We want it to go with good food. Quite frankly, it's very, very important to me. So the farm to table cuisine that they offer is truly that. And you're even going to see, if you go to some of the marketplaces, you're going to see the chef there. And they're out wandering and they're sourcing things, as well as making sure that they bring things in from their suppliers. All local, they support the local economy, and it's really, really brilliant. And then you're going to have some of these exclusive experiences. We talked a little bit about whether it's a private concert or the wine tasting in one of the oldest vineyards in Austria. There are some really exclusive experiences that you will have that are unavailable to any other cruise line. If you want to stay fit while you're traveling, it's easy to do. They have the wellness on the water. Yoga in the morning was quite lovely, I have to admit. But you know, all the walking that you do throughout the day, I didn't spend any time in the gym, but I will say that it was a great opportunity to have that. They also have one of the very rare indoor swimming pools on this lovely ship. Speaking of the lovely ship, her name is Maria Theresa. And so here's a picture of her in front of the Parliament building in Budapest. She's considered one of the super ships. She was named the best new river ship by Cruise Critic. Many of you will probably know that name. And she's really unique in that the company that owns this, they also own the Red Carnation boutique hotels throughout the world. And Mrs. Tolman goes around the world and procures original art pieces to display on her ships. She's very particular about that. So you're going to find that very, very European style. Here, of course, in the grand staircase is her namesake, Maria Theresa. And then you have really interesting decors. So this is the Leopard bar. This is the Baroque Restaurant, the Habsburg Lounge. The Habsburg Lounge is really, really popular. It's a great place to gather and have cocktails. And of course, we all want to know what our rooms are going to be like. So this is a great visual of what a French balcony will do for you. If you can imagine, you can see her standing, the glass of the French balcony electronically comes down from the ceiling so that you can actually stand right at the edge of your stateroom. What's nice about having a French balcony is that it gives all the square footage to the room itself. So that way you have more space on the inside. So let me show you some of the suites and rooms that are available on board Maria Theresa. This one here is a picture of the suite. You're going to notice that there's actually two sets of the French balconies, 305 square feet. The deluxe balcony, you'll notice again at the window there, the French balcony that with the push of a button slides right down. This is the standard French balcony. I'm actually quickly going to go back and then forward, and you'll notice that they are the same size. So really it's location on the ship and just a slight difference of where they position the curtains by the window. So those are very similar. And then we have the classic rooms. The classic rooms are the only ones that don't have a French balcony. Behind that curtain, you can kind of see at the top there, two little windows, and we lovingly call those the duck view. That's because they are on deck one, so you would actually need to stand up to see out your window, and you'll probably see the swans looking back at you from right down below. But they are wonderful economical rooms and also have great solo fares. I mentioned the indoor swimming pool. This is one of the few available on any river cruise ship, and it's quite popular to take a dip in the pool. And you know, oftentimes when you see pictures of these very lovely, but maybe a little fancy looking rooms, you think, oh my gosh, it's going to be dress up. I'm going to have to wear a coat and tie every day. I wanted to use this picture to show you, as well as this next one, that no, it's very casual on board. So you're going to find that a coat is not required. You're welcome to bring one if you want, but it's not required ever. Ties, never required. It's a very casual experience all throughout. So you'll see just what people normally wear in this picture here. And it's a lot of fun. It's very, very social. So you're going to find that in the big lounges that you saw, everyone tends to gather before dinner and maybe even after breakfast to chat about either where they're going or where they've been for the day. And it's a lot of fun. And that's also the places, of course, where we're going to get together and enjoy some great wines. And speaking of wines, you're going to have some real exclusive experiences. So on 3 of the evenings, you're going to have exclusive wine paired dinners with the wines from your Virginia winery. And you're going to have 3 in-depth tastings led by your winery hosts. And I know, Philip, we talked earlier about you're going to bring some special wines on board, aren't you, for this cruise? Oops, you're muted.
One second. Okay, we
There you
did, KK. But first of all, before I get into that, wow, just wow. I was excited before, and now I'm just beyond thrilled. This is really, really exciting. And I'm just excited to be, part of the winery is thrilled to be part of a Virginia centric wine cruise I think it's the first for Virginia, where we've got a collaborative effort with premium Virginia wineries coming together to really showcase our state and then go abroad for what seems to be just an incredible experience of wine and history and culture all brought together. So just wow, this is exciting. So yes, we're excited. We're going to be, of course, bringing our flagship wine, which is Cleve, which is a Tannat Petit Verdot blend. It's a wine that wins national awards year after year. We just recently won the platinum at the Finger Lakes competition, which only 8 platinums were awarded out of some 3,000 wines that were entered into that competition. And so we're thrilled to be able to share our flagship wine with all our guests on the cruise as part of these dinners. And we have a little an extra treat as well to share, which as folks who know Philip Carter, we're well known for our port. We make 1762, which is our port style wine. And we've had in production now for 10 years, locked in the cellar, aging in whiskey barrels for 10 years, and a tawny style port that we bottled in March, and we haven't even released it yet to the public. It's going to be released October the 20th of this year, but we're going to bring that on board as a special treat for all the guests of this wine cruise, and we're excited to share that. It's Devil Tavern. It's named for the historical spot in London, England, where the Carter family was recognized as producing fine wines produced in Virginia back in 1762. So this is an exciting day for the winery, for Virginia wines, and to be able to share this with the folks of this cruise. So we're looking forward to it. We hope everybody else is too.
Oh man, that sounds fantastic. Now I'm jealous. I think I might have to join you.
Well, you need to come on. It looked like, going back to that, the Mozart piece, it looked like that was you that was the one singing and orchestrated. I thought that was you, KK. So you need to
be
come
surprised. It could be. It could be. And John, you said that you're going to be doing something exciting as well.
Yeah, well, of course, we're going to try to pull out our most unique limited production wines, and we will have something that none of our customers have tasted before. We've got a 100% Chenin Blanc sparkling wine, all packaged in Magnum bottles. That's now will have been in tierage 4 years by the time we drink it with you next year. So that's something that really limited production that we're looking forward to, and we're hopeful to get some menus maybe, so we can do our best to pair wines up. And I think a lot of this trip through Austria, we probably want to look really heavily at some of our unique Cabernet Franc wines that will be more Austrian-esque, if you will. But certainly all the best of our best in the most limited production, and really looking forward to our new sparkling wine with the Chenin Blanc that we'll have out for that. But I'm most excited about, my daughter Teresa's on this call right now, and many of my girls, including Teresa, have all traveled Europe far more than their parents have. And Teresa swears that Budapest is her most favorite place on the planet. So I finally get to experience it, and with her. So, and with you all, we're really looking forward to that.
Oh, that sounds really exciting. And Teresa, I'm right there with you. One of my favorite places. It's a fantastic place to be. Well, I am super, super excited because the wines sound fantastic. And yes, we do actually get the menus in advance from the culinary team at Uniworld. And what they do is they will work with you and make sure that we come up some great pairings for those 3 special dinners. So that's going to be super exciting. As a matter of fact, all of the things that are included are just going to be over the top on this experience. So when you think about it, there's the wine reception, there's the 3 wine pairing dinners, the 3 wine seminars, you have 7 nights of cruising. And, there was a little plus sign that somehow disappeared on the meals, because I loved how they politely say 20 meals. Yeah, I know that there's at least maybe 30. It seems to be there's always meals, but 19 excursions. There's that one private experience that we include as well. You have the opportunity to see 4 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. That's how rich this itinerary is. It really is spectacular. So, with that, I just want to invite everyone now who's on with us tonight, jot down or take a quick picture of the telephone number and the email address, because we are your point of contact. You're going to want to reach out to us because, of course, this ship only accommodates 150 people. And so when you think of that, that's 75 staterooms. And that means that they're going to go pretty quick. And we've already started selling it. You already have a nice group that's going. And, I just kind of have to say book it while there's still space, because that's what happened. We tend to fill up all of our river ships when we have this quality of exceptional wine experience to offer. So I encourage you to take down that information. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the share so that I can see the chat box, and hopefully you have some questions for us. And I invite you that this is the time you can turn your cameras back on. And I see some of you already have your cameras back on. That's great. Please join us. And are there any questions? Let me see if I can see the chat box here real quick. And it says click for video appointment. Oh, thank you for that. That's a great point. On the video, you can't click because that comes from our website. So you know what? If you would like a video appointment, you're welcome to call or email us and we can set that up for you. We do lots of Zoom calls with our guests. Sometimes getting to know the consultant that you're working with, because you will work with one consultant. We assign you to a person and you work with them all the way through. You'll get to know them just like you get to know your hairstylist. And we try to make sure that literally our goal is to help you from the day that you step out of your door to the day you return, and everything in between, as much as you'd like us to take care of for you. So are there any questions? Does anyone have any questions? Dates? Yes, absolutely. So, and we are sailing, of course, on April the 23rd of 2023. And it's one of my favorite times to be there because it's during a time that's called Springen ut. And so I'll try to translate that into English. It means when all of the leaves are bursting, everything is bursting out. Spring is springing forward. And it's such a beautiful time. It's a lovely, lovely, pretty time. And I also love it because the foliage is not completely full. So you actually can see a lot more of the sights when you can see a little bit through the trees before they're completely full in the summertime. So it's quite beautiful. Let's see, other questions that are coming in. Oh, I see now there are some coming in. Let me see if I can get theirs. Okay, here we go. The pricing, that's a great question. We have pricing starts, and let me look at the flyer here real quick. I believe it's $43.99 per person is the entry-level pricing, and then it goes up depending on which type of stateroom that you would like. And just as a reminder, that's all inclusive. So you know how sometimes you book a cruise and you think, okay, this is the price before I leave. Now I'm going to pay for the other half of it when I get back, after I've bought my shore excursions and everything else. This is it. So your gratuities, your beverages, your meals, your transfers, done. The only other thing that you would have would be port taxes of $200 and your airfare. And of course, we're really happy to say that we have contract air. So we are delighted to help you with saving on your air as well. There's a question, can we book the hotel in Munich for nights we arrive early? Absolutely. Your consultant will help you. What we do is we choose a hotel where we're going to use for our transfer to the ship in Passau, and we encourage people to book in hotels close by, and we actually help book them for you. So we can get you, again, our special contracted rates with hotels, and we're happy to arrange all of that for you. And let's see, Paul is asking, pre and post arrival packages. Yes, there's a couple of different things you can do. Well, there are many, but a couple of the main ones. There is an opportunity to go to Prague prior to Passau. So if Prague is one of the cities that you're interested in seeing, it's absolutely fantastic. If you haven't seen the astronomical clock, lovely, lovely old town. I can't tell you how brilliant it is. That's a great opportunity to do that pre-cruise. And I will tell you that anyone who has time, just simply trust me when I say spend a couple of extra days in Budapest. It will be well worth it. It's brilliant. Let's see. Kathy is asking, is payment due at full time is payment due in full at time of booking? And is there a single supplement? Great questions. Thank you. No, deposit only at the time of booking. And so you'll only place a deposit, and then final payment will come 120 days prior to sailing. So that will probably be around December-ish. And then, yes, we have special single supplements. We have the best value for solos is going to be in the window suites. But we have solo rates available for all categories. Absolutely. Do I have a sense of average airfare cost, as Olivia's asking? You know, in April, airfares, and again, I truthfully haven't searched from Virginia yet, but I know we've seen as low as about $1,000. And then, you know, we've seen premium economy for about 15, and then business class, we've seen anywhere from about 3,000 up. So there's some really reasonable airfares available, and we are happy to go in there and help you with those. And a lot of that's because, again, we have special contract air that we can help you with. Let me quickly scroll down here and see which ones I've missed. I think I've covered most of those. I'm sure there have to be other questions. Has anyone done river cruising before? No? No? Everyone's shaking their head. It's a whole different unique experience. I mean, being right there in the river, in the heart of Europe, is such an amazing experience. And remember how I described how you come literally right up into town, you're docking in town next to everything. So you could just walk right off and thoroughly enjoy. Other questions? Boy, you guys are easy. You're making this easy on me. I know they're out there, because if you're thinking of them, 10 other people are thinking as well. Let me see. Am I missing anything? I don't think so. Wow. Well, oh, I see someone's, Olivia, you're showing us something and I can't see what that is. If you want me to see.
So wait, hold on.
This is for John. Will Brandy?
Will he be bringing his DDS brandy for after dinner drinks?
Oh, great question. I guess that's a legal question for Expedia. You all, Expedia, you guys may not know, but we do have a little distillery on site where we produce brandy and other spirits, all from wine. And I don't know if there's a way to get those on board ship or not. It'd be great to make it part of maybe one of the wine dinners, sneak in some brandy there.
Well, I think what we'll do is we will definitely discuss that offline and see if we can find a way to make that happen. I think that sounds like a lot of fun. That's a good one. And Doug, I know that we'll have to discuss afterwards and see if we can find a way to make that happen. I think as long as it gets shipped with the wine, we might be able to do that.
Yeah, there's a few ways to make it happen. So we'll work on that.
We'll bring out the magic wand.
That's great.
It'll get
a lot of fun.
That would be fun. Paul, you're asking how many extra days would you recommend in Budapest? Truthfully, I would love to say at least 2 nights. 2 nights would be kind of perfect. And that's because you're going to have 1 full day of excursions already. And then this will give you another full day of excursion, because if you spend 2 nights, that last day, really you're flying out. So you lose that. So that would be pretty cool. A few more if you have it, but 2 nights will do it. Definitely. I like these questions. And yes, we do have hotels that we can recommend. There are several of them that we use in Budapest. And again, what we'll do the same thing is we'll work on transfers But we'll just need to get you to it's all just so close. It's really, really easy. Let's see. Liz and Scott just joined. Maybe tell them that you'll send the link out with the recording. Yes, we will. Thank you so much, Doug, for that reminder. For anyone who has joined us late, we will go ahead and send out to all of you a link to the recording of this. And I want to encourage you that traveling with friends on a wine cruise is the best. So I want to encourage you to tell all your friends that you're going. When you join up, tell your friends, have them come along. When I see everybody getting together in the lounges and trotting off on these excursions, as I said, I've been doing this a long time. I have so much fun watching all the friends traveling together. So I want to encourage you to do the same. It is fun. And yes, you are welcome to share the link, Maria. Thank you for asking. It's designed for you to go ahead and share with others. And like I said, bring them along. That's great. These are great and easy questions. Boy, I like it. Well, I know we are all ready to travel again. All of our cruises this year have been simply brilliant. And I know that for next year, the world will be even more open and very ready for us. I don't know about you, but I just can't wait to get out there and get going. So I encourage you to, again, call with any questions that you have. After this video is done, you can either watch it again or just give us a call and we're happy to talk through any questions that you have. Deb is asking, are any visas needed? If you are a US citizen, no. If you're non-US citizen, it could be that you need some, but for US citizens, no visas are needed. No visas are needed at this time. No testing is required. The only thing is that for the Uniworld ships, you do need to be vaccinated. Yep, that was an easy one. Before I let you go, any others? Everybody's thinking. Nope. Okay. Well, I can't say thank you enough. Philip and John, I don't know if you want to say a quick goodbye to everybody.
Just want to say thank you again, KK, and we invite all of y'all to join us on a cruise around the world.
There you go, or at least down the Danube.
That's right.
I'll take that all day long. And John, are you there? Did you want to say anything?
I am. Well, of course, just thank everybody for joining tonight, and we hope to see you on this. You can't help but watch these videos and see these pictures and get pretty excited. So the more the merrier.
Absolutely.
There you go. Well, thank you again, everyone, for attending. We'll make sure that the link goes out tomorrow, and we look forward to answering any questions that you have, but more importantly, we look forward to welcoming you aboard. Thanks again, everybody. Good night.
Night.
Thank you.